I like to start with the basics, and there's 3 categories of food that every food fits into. Does anybody know what those categories are? What'd you say?
Good, bad, and not so bad.
Good, bad, and not so bad, okay.
Protein, fat, and carbs.
Protein, fat, and carbs. We call these macronutrients, okay? Carbohydrates or carbs, I'll use for short, and fats. Protein, carbs, and fats. Every single food that you eat will fall into one of these categories. And you know what category it falls into because on the back of your nutrition fact label, literally these 3 words are on there. There's a lot of other words on there too, but we're just gonna focus on these 3 today, okay? Let's start with protein. What are some good sources of protein? Or actually any source of protein, throw at me. What do you guys eat for protein? Eggs. Steak.
Do nuts count? Nuts?
Nuts will actually be in fats. Yep. So you'll find that some foods, and I'm glad you brought that up, have all 3 macronutrients. But we're going to put that food in the category that has the most. So nuts has the most fats in it. So we'll put it in the fats category. Same with like peanut butter. A lot of people think peanut butter is a protein. It has 4 or 5 grams of protein, maybe 8 in some cases, but it has more fat in it. So we would put peanut butter in the fats. Okay? Beans. Does anybody ever eat or drink those protein bars, protein shakes? Okay. Anything else for the protein?
Yogurt.
Huh? Yogurt, Greek yogurt. Let's move on to carbs. Carbohydrates. What are some examples of carbs?
Rice.
Any of your grains?
Rice.
Rice. Did anybody know that? Fruits and vegetables are actually carbohydrates. They're a whole source or a non-processed source, but those are carbohydrates, okay? And then let's move on to our fats. We already have nuts and peanut butter. Are there any other fats? Any of your oils? Any of your butters?
Cheese?
Avocado. Yep.
Cheese would be here. Avocado? All pretty good sources. I mean, you could get into the weeds with the oils. I mean, nobody said this. Come on.
We don't want to admit it.
Nobody said this. Cookies probably is over here too. I mean, ice cream. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, what? Okay. I thought I heard someone say cheese, but you get the idea. Actually, cookies would probably be more of carbs. All right, so here's the deal. We recommend eating a diet of meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. And keeping intakes to a level that support exercise, but not body fat, okay? You'll notice that when you guys were shouting out different things that you ate, I put the non-processed things towards the top and the processed things with the star towards the bottom. If you're not sure what processed and unprocessed foods are, processed foods are foods that you cannot grow or kill in your backyard. Okay? Unprocessed foods or whole foods, you can kill, hunt, or grow. So if you're looking at a grocery store, these are all foods on the outside of the aisles, right? Or the outside of the grocery store. All of your processed food is on the inside aisles. You never need to go down those inside aisles ever if you didn't want to. You can live off of the outside aisles or the outside of the grocery store. Very difficult, right? Especially in today's society. Yeah? Very, very difficult, okay? But the reason why I put the stars here is because with your processed carbohydrates comes this. And this is the leading cause of chronic disease. And we are going to help you get off of the added sugar over the next 3 months. It's going to be difficult, but we are going to give you tips and educate you on how to make better choices in order to avoid added sugar. When I think of added sugar in food, it comes in 3 forms: fructose, sucrose, or high fructose corn syrup. Okay? And if you look on the back of your nutrition fact labels, you can easily see how many grams of added sugar are in here. It's insane how much they sneak into different foods. I put that star on Greek yogurt because they put added sugar in Greek yogurt now. And it's like, why? There doesn't need to be added sugar in Greek yogurt. But that is what we need to educate ourselves on. So when we go into the store, we can't just buy any brand of Greek yogurt. You have to look at the back of the nutrition fact label to see if there's any added sugar in it. Same thing with peanut butter. It's crazy. Jif peanut butter, the second ingredient in it is high fructose corn syrup. Why? I have no idea. It should be peanuts and salt. Those are the only 2 ingredients that you need in your peanut butter, but they like to sneak in sugar. Okay? So just being more mindful of the added sugar in your overall diet is going to help you avoid chronic disease and help improve your key health markers, like your fasting blood sugar, your triglycerides, your blood pressure, your bone density. All of those things that are going to improve your longevity of life and your quality of life are all going to be impacted by how you move your body every day and what you eat. Does that make sense? Okay. What I want you guys to do today, going into tomorrow, is when you go to grab something for lunch or dinner, just look at the back of the nutrition fact label and see if there's any added sugar in it. I just want you to be more mindful of it. You don't need to get rid of it yet. But just be more mindful of what has added sugar in your guys' diet that you wouldn't maybe even think has sugar in it.
Yeah, my protein shake, I thought I was doing good. It was an additional 3 grams.
Yeah.
I was looking at bad fats. And I didn't get sugar.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. I mean, something as simple as, I was reading some articles and there is a study that said, and it was people who filled out the survey themselves, ate between 120 to 100 grams of sugar a day. And that was like people just answered the questions themselves. They're probably actually underestimating their sugar intake. However, that is way more than what even the FDA or the CDC recommends. The max added sugar a day that the CDC recommends for women is 4 teaspoons, 9 teaspoons for men. We are like way over that in America.
What's the cottage cheese called? Protein or fat?
That would be protein, wouldn't it, Brett? I think it has more protein.
It's probably in the fat category.
Is it?
It's got more fat content than protein, but it is a decent source of protein.
Yeah.
What about cheese? Cheese as a rule. Is cheese not good to eat, or is it
It's
like
a-
for a snack?
In moderation.
What's
I
the
think,
free foods?
huh?
Is there any free foods, sometimes they talk about certain things you can eat that doesn't bother anything?
Oh, like vegetables, certain vegetables.
Celery.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna hand out a piece of paper to you guys, and this is what I'm gonna.
I would say
preach
cheese in
to
moderation though, but it shouldn't be the first thing that you grab.
General population
Sometimes
is
I'll just like
a lower carb
cut
ketogenic
4
diet.
or 5 little chunks just for a snack.
That's fine. Absolutely.
If you eat as much protein and as much fat as you can, you're gonna get full before it does anything adverse to your body. If you're eating whole food. Protein and fats are the only 2 macronutrients that your body needs to survive. You can completely eliminate all carbohydrate sources. You'd be completely fine.
Is it just stuck with proteins?
Proteins and fats. You can stick with just proteins if you wanted, because there's naturally going to be fat in those proteins. But if you completely eliminate all carbohydrates, all your key health markers are going to get better. Just that alone, without moving your body more. That's going to help. It's going to speed the process up if you do move more. But just changing your diet is going to move the needle more than anything else. So if you have a chronic disease and you're trying to get rid of that, that piece of paper is the key to success. And we'll go over this a little bit more later on this week, but what the government's been telling you for 40 years, if you look at that pyramid on the top right, it's telling you to avoid all those carbohydrates that they're telling you to eat 11 to 20 servings of a day. That's what's causing and driving the chronic disease in the United States.
Is there a target number for protein that we should be trying to
Yes,
get?
that's a great question. So if you take your ideal body weight, that's what you want to hit in grams of protein per day, or more. So if I weigh 250 and I want to get to 200 pounds, I want to eat 200 grams of protein or more a day. Now if you're eating 20 grams of protein right now, don't go from 20 to 200 because you're going to puke. You're going to get way too full, way too fast. So what I would tell you to do is go from 20 grams to 25 grams to 30 grams to 35 grams and slowly try to get to that ideal number.
Yeah, I feel very full all the time.
Yep, and it's not going to happen overnight. If you've been trying to lose weight and you can't do that, you're probably not eating enough protein. So start there. Just continue to inch that number up. So,
Any questions? I know we threw a lot at you, and I'm trying to do this in a very systematic way. So each day we'll throw a little bit more at you just to kind of get your brains turning a little bit. Okay? Did you have a question, Helen?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are there target numbers also for like dairy and carbs that we need to be thinking about?
so that piece of paper will tell you 130 grams or less of carbohydrates a day, 20 to 50 if you want to try to get into ketosis. And
What is that?
we can go into the weeds on this. I could talk about this all day. I don't really want to do that right now. We can save that for a different day, and I can go over like the energy system and how that works. But I think it's at the top, right?
But no, there's not technically
I see
the carb. The carbs
right
can
there,
stay low.
20 to 50 and
Yep.
130 about
Yeah.
protein.
Yep.